All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of the AGILE SCRUM, and we are heading in transition of week 3 and 4, and we are going to learn something in the continuation of the Scrum. And while I'm speaking, I'll request you to be on mute, but you can unmute yourself once it gets started. Let me hit the record button is already done. I'm going to share my screen, and once my screen is visible, kindly let me know that you can see that. Just give me a second. Yeah. All right. Before we get started, the question here is that anyone here for first time? Okay. So good. So no one is here first timer. So we'll continue to get started, and let me know. So the core question, do you remember why you are here?
To get placed.
To get placed. And how many of you last time attended RRP session?
Not
I
yesterday.
attended a lot of sessions, Gaurav sir.
Okay. Okay.
I
Good.
cleared my doubts with Dave sir about my resume and all, and I got cleared. I will show this Tuesday for him.
Okay. No problem. Anyone who could not attend RRP session?
Me.
Okay. So the thing is there, everyone, continue to attend RRP session, because remember that once you attend the RRP session, your resume or your CV will continue to get marketed. And only the thing is, what we would request you, don't wait for a job requirement to be like the way you want. In fact, you be ready for whatever the job requirement comes in, and just let us know that I want myself to get ready for this job requirement. Rest will be with us, with me and Prerna, to make you ready for that job. So we don't want you to just keep on waiting for a right job, but make a job right. So that's the thing. So
How would we like consider ourselves ready for that job?
okay,
Like
so
I don't have any background.
simple. The thing is that RRP session you are attending, and the moment you will see that whatever the requirement are there, that you can learn, or it is learnable, it is matching with your remote or remote requirement on all, means locality part it is matching. Rest technical part you want yourself to get ready. For that you need to approach us. Okay, these technicality I want myself to get ready. So could you please help? And that's it.
Oh.
Only technical stuffs are the thing which can means bother you. Rest should not. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Gaurav,
yes.
Gaurav, like 2 weeks ago, my resume was okayed by Dev. So now, how would I know that my resume started marketing?
Okay, so you should be in touch with HR. That's number one. Number two, even though it is okayed by Devji, what you need to do is that be ready for a mock interview once the track gets over. That's number one. Number two is that still you need to attend RRP session, so that the more you will go over there, more they are aware that okay, you are here for job, and your HRs will continue to market your resume. The moment you will drop down from there, okay, my resume is okay, now I don't need to go back, pressure is gone down from there. I mean, they see that you don't need anymore. Okay, so your presence is required over there. All right.
Thank you.
But the jobs they post, I don't know anything about that, like background.
Okay, so wait for 2 weeks more, and after that, if you have the same problem, then you need to tell us. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes, Unnati, please tell.
Yeah, so I started working on my resume, Gaurav. I just want to know, Dev sir told that I can back borrow steel projects from some technical IT persons or someone, but I do not have.
Yeah, so last time you learned sprint planning in detail, and today what we are going to learn is something very, very important, and that says, excuse me, sorry.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Mhm. Yeah. So what we are going to learn is we are going to touch two topics today. So a sprint review with quality, definition of done, and product backlog management. However, we are well aware of backlog management. We'll see that still how we can integrate it further at a deeper level. So understand, this is the sprint review with best quality, where you find that sprint review has happened. Sprint review, what do we mean by that? Anyone who can give me a hint?
Whatever you work on the user story, you show your work to the stakeholder and you take their review. You give them a demo
Exactly.
of
That's
what you
right.
have done.
Yeah. So while this is happening, a sprint review happens. Okay. You take a feedback from the stakeholder. Okay. Scrum Master facilitate that. And you are well aware with the team, and you continue to mark it as a done. So that's you do in the sprint review. How do we do that? How do we mark that as a done? We will also look at that definition. So can anyone read this number one bullet?
A sprint review meeting should be a natural result of the sprint involving the product owner, the Scrum team, the Scrum Master, management, customers, and developers from other projects.
Okay, thank you so much for reading this out. Now you tell me, everyone, in fact, who all are involved in the sprint review meeting?
Scrum team.
I
Okay,
think everyone,
Product
this
owners from
the whole
Product
development team.
the Scrum team.
okay, exactly, you are right, everyone. Okay, you just now read it over here. Scrum team, Scrum Master, management, customers, and developers from other projects as well. Okay, so it is just self-explained that who all would be part of sprint review team. The answer itself was ready over here. So let's move further and understand what is the agenda for the sprint review. Okay, so what development team will do, what product owner will do. So likewise, we are going to look at it in detail. So I want to invite one volunteer who can read the first para.
Development team talks about the sprint. Uh, what went well, problems that arose, how they solved those problems, demonstrates complete work product backlog items, answer any questions.
Okay, so it's a simple thing yet, but still it won't remain simple until unless you won't address these all bullet points. You will say that, hey, I have made everything ready for you. That's fine, you have made everything ready, but the effort which has gone inside and behind, that doesn't visible until you state this thing, that what problem you overcome during the process. Okay, so when you will explain that there is multiple reason behind it, they are well aware that what was the bottlenecks that you came across, in future what they need to correct from their end, when they are laying down a requirement to you. Okay, what extra information they should be ready upon, because this portion helps not only just you to be ready, but also stakeholders and client to be ready, that in next sprint review meeting, what can be taken care of when you state this problem that arose as a BA or as a developer, or as an architect or anyone. So BA, QA, or developer, if you say anything related to that when you are completing some given task, that gives the clarity to stakeholder as well. Plus, what was easy to achieve, that also gives the clarity to stakeholders that really how their information have helped you. Okay, and you have to mention this, what all the steps you took while solving the problem, or while solving the any feature or user story. And once you have explained these all, you are demonstrating the completed product backlog item. What does it mean? Imagine you are sitting, you have means you have gathered one information of just fund transfer in banking industry, and the fund transfer module you are giving to customer. Developers have developed that how fund can be transferred from one account to another, okay, of the customer in the same bank, in the different bank, okay. And it could be various different transfer. It could be RTGS, it could be IMPS, it could be just a simple NACHA or ACH, okay, any type of clearance it would be, okay. So you talked about three types of fund transfer account clearance, okay, and every single sub module you have explained. Are you able to connect with me with this example, whatever I am sharing? Because these
Yeah.
are the three different
Yes.
or many more different modes are there in the banking industry. So you are while explaining that, and you said as a business analyst, okay, so team has developed this software, I have tested it, and that's what I am demonstrating in front of you. So in this, we found that there was a missing piece of information, and for that we waited for you for 2 days, and still because time was running and our target was to achieve it before today, and still before today we wanted it to test it. Team was excellent, test team came forward and they really did well, and they stretched few hours, and they made sure that this module would get completed. Are you focusing how you are presenting as a BA, that what exactly happened in the back of the scene, when how the few pieces were missing, and you had to approach to the client and client gave it. So for next sprint, you are making your client ready that what means additional activity for what they should be aware of, how they can cooperate you tomorrow bit early. Everyone is ready, everyone is understanding with this example what kind of
Yeah.
communication goes on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still you are going ahead and you are presenting and demonstrating that okay, so you need to click here, XYZ, three stops. When you clear when you click, the fund gets transferred. You are presenting on the screen, okay. And whatever in the real time zone, when that project, the banking project, has been given to you, just for example, there you need to demonstrate, okay. So cool.
Yeah.
So and for that, from where you get these information, of course, development team and test team will tell you how it is working, how it is not, and then your job is to take ahead from them and you redo that and you just check it. Okay, so I want someone to read about this product owner.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So in the sprint review, when the work is done, then when we give the demo to the client, who gives the demo? The business analyst or the product owner?
Ideally, business analyst should give.
Okay.
Yeah, where you just do that and see that things are working, okay.
Yeah,
So
Gaurav, I would like to add into this
yeah,
for this
go ahead.
question. First of all, a very good and genuine question, but let me give you a real life practical example. Whenever there is a demo to the client, always understand it's a joint effort or it's a team activity. Okay, very few times you would realize that rather I would say it's not the right practice to leave the entire demo or the presentation, especially to outsiders, like senior stakeholders or clients or management, that is done entirely by one person. It is always a team. So if you have, like, for example, if you are the BA and so you would definitely have maybe your scrum master or your product owner, or at times people from development team and architects, some of them, they also join. So you may ask, like, why those people are required, or whose responsibility it is. So the answer to that is the responsibility of any demos or any uh, presentation is of entire teams. Okay. Yeah, I would say the documentation and the working part, maybe the PPT creation and things like that, might be owned at times by business analysts because that's the part of their job, full-fledged. But when you want to present something to the outside client, when you want to have an impression, or when you want to ensure that they are satisfied or they're understanding what you're working on and how soon you'll deliver something, in that scenario, it's a team effort. And because when I have been a project manager in earlier projects, it used to be always like, a manager, a BA, a specialist, or I would subject matter expert, SME, we call them. So it's a selected team of people who are expert in that field, who know what is happening in the project, who can answer any question that come along, or at least they can find answers to whatever the customers or clients doubt is. So does this make sense? I mean, this is what happens in real life. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Additionally, understand it also depends upon the company to company and projects to project. What Prerna has just summarized is brilliant. It's a team effort. So let me help you to quickly visualize what is going to happen. Say, for example, this is the fund transfer demo. Okay. The test lead have helped you, development lead has helped you, and developer says that, hey, what is going to happen? You be present for this demonstration or sprint review meeting. Your right side XYZ person who is from development end, or who has led this module or who has developed this module, he will be sitting. Left side, test team will sit who has tested this. So you are complete team presenting over there. You are just talking about this, and not necessarily always you have to talk as Prerna also shared that you can choose in a part of team, okay, if you find that this person is suitable, but generally recommended, because I have changed multiple organization in my last 19 years, and I have seen that how different companies are working and heading it in different style. So considering that, what I have identified, it's recommended our BA is demonstrating, but at the same time questions are also coming. So not only just questions are coming, then BA is responding, also sometimes developers are responding, sometimes this tester is also responding sometimes, and it appears visible that how together team has demonstrated that. So very well said by Prerna, exactly, it's team who is demonstrating, and you could be the face of that, of a sprint review meeting, but entire team has to be present. Is it more clear to you?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah,
Thanks.
awesome. So let's move ahead towards the product owner. Who can read this para?
Discuss current
Yeah.
snapshot of product backlog and roadmap.
Mhm.
Project likely completion dates with various completion rate for or velocity assumptions.
Okay. So in case you have not yet went through that, you have not gone through my video of on velocity, please go ahead, do that. And remember, this is just not that you have demonstrated, but also you are going to talk about, so what are the upcoming features they can expect when it is supposed to get released. You are going to talk about the complete snapshot. Okay. So what is planned, what can they expect as a stakeholder. Okay, you will talk about the various completion date, on which date what sprint or feature is going to get released. So what you will do, you just reiterate that and reassure that how it is going to come. Okay, so this is how it is going to happen. And then let's move to the next one. I want one person to read initial 2 bullet points.
Development team talks about the sprint, reviewing the goal for the sprint, demonstrating new features implemented during the sprint.
Yeah, when we talk about development team, it doesn't just developer. Okay, the entire team, as Prerna just now said. Okay, so development team talks about the sprint, what you completed. Okay, review the goal for the sprint. So what was the outcome, means how it is functioning, you talk about that, any developed feature. Demonstrating new features implemented during the sprint, exactly the third bullet point is referring to the second one. You just give the presentation that how it is working, how it is not. Okay, and then once you have presented that, then who can read this next 2 bullet points? I need more.
Requesting a feedback from the stakeholder and discussing work not to become accomplished.
Yes. So what is going to happen once you have presented, then you ask for any question to the stakeholders, and you can say if you have any question, you can definitely ask, or anything what you want to be added, deleted, and modified. They come up with that. And you also talk about why few features in case you think that it is not accomplished and you could not complete, and you say that this is something minor, you are trying to accomplish it with the next upcoming sprint. Why you need to talk about that? Because everything should be crystal clear. What was supposed to come has come in the sprint review meeting. What is not supposed to come, it has not come, and by any chance you have not included any minor features. Okay, what you are going to do, that you are going to speak about it, because customer should be very much clear, entire the stakeholder team should be clear that what is presented was requested, and something which has been missed has been planned for next sprint, as this was the cosmetic change or cosmetic or minor thing which can let the current sprint move, and let this minor change be the part of the next sprint. Is it clear to everyone? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want someone to complete this last portion of three bullet points.
Identifying
Ident-
risks and impediments, reviewing project increment objectives, looking ahead to the next sprint using the top lines from the product backlogs.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So it is not just that you go ahead and you talk about what you could complete, but you will also talk about that, as I discussed in the last slide, that how you overcame some challenges. Okay, but still, while you are presenting something, what is upcoming challenges you see, what are some risk involved, you will talk about that. Okay, and when you talk about that, customer is supposed to respond you through then and there, or through email, or they will take a note of it and they will say that definitely for this clarity we will send you email. Okay, and then you talk about that why this sprint has come, why you have completed these many features, and whatever is coming, when they can expect, because when you are wrapping up, remember that next sprint review meeting date they should know. Okay, when they can meet next. Okay, so you are going to talk about that. Okay, and in that sprint review meeting, what all they can expect as a feature, you are going to talk about that as well, and thus you are going to just celebrate all the discussion, and you wrap up the sprint review meeting. Is it clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how it is going to happen. And you can see quickly here the increments, the developed feature, and the sprint review meeting goes from 2 to 4 hours. 4 hours for 4-week 4-week sprint, 2 hours for 2 weeks sprint, accordingly 1 hour for 1 week sprint, because you choose the features accordingly. Okay, and while a customer, when you are presenting this in front of customer, you make sure everything has been moved to done column. You remember done column last time I showed you the Kanban board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then accordingly you will continue to update the backlog items. Okay, and that is the time when you are going to also discuss with the sprint product owner, that our product owner will share that when they are planning to do the next sprint planning meeting. Okay, the entire team is involved, as you have read further. Okay, so I want one person to read first bullet point.
In
In-
Scrum, each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. This means that at the end of each sprint, the term has produced a coded, tested, and usable piece of software.
Exactly. So when we talk about shippable product increment, means the product is ready. Okay, client has reviewed, and now what is it has been already coded, tested, and working. Remember, always when we deliver working piece of software. What we deliver, everyone?
Working piece of
software.
software.
Exactly.
Working software.
And how you will identify? Of course, once it is coded well, demonstrated well, tested well, and now it is working. Okay. Based on that, you identify whether it is working or not. And then you move it towards the shipping because it has been a go and acceptance from client. Okay. Who can read the second bullet? I want one volunteer.
During the sprint review, the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting.
Yeah. So now, what is there when we talk about a sprint goal? Can someone tell me in sprint what you develop, on what you work in the sprint? Generally, what you work, yeah,
Stories.
Backlog, product
backlog,
like
user
Product
story,
backlog.
user
Yeah.
story. Everyone is answering user story. So like
User story.
user stories you are developing, but the goal is that user story should be mapped with something, to which we are going to call at a sprint goal. But sprint goal means all the user story, but every individual user story will have something which will determine whether it is meeting the goal or not. Do you know what is that?
Definition of done?
Okay,
No.
what else? Or user story. So what else? Any answer? Okay, so let me tell you what it is called as. So like user story is a piece of requirement. Likewise, every user story must have and should have acceptance criteria. What they should have?
Acceptance criteria.
Yeah, so
Criteria.
keep this in your mind, and that will define when all the acceptance criteria against every user story is marked as done, completed. It means it determines the sprint goal is met. Okay, and what it says that the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting, because in the sprint planning meeting you make sure that every feature once it is getting developed, every user story once it is developed, business analysts make sure further its acceptance criteria is also laid down into that ticket. When I am talking about ticket means user story. Okay,
So who make the who actually accept the, I mean, who do that acceptance criteria thing, like
okay,
approve or
generally what
reject?
happens, so acceptance criteria are generally again, so it varies in a company to company.
Okay.
Acceptance criteria should be laid down by BA. That is number one. Number two is that in case it is not added by BA, a tester who will lay it down. However, the recommendation is always towards the BA, because BA has completed the requirement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are aware that at the end what should be functioning, right? And they will write it down. Okay, so this is the requirement, this has to be developed, and at the end we are accepting these all should function. So let me give you some example. So say for example, let me bring this. Okay, you have been asked to develop a button. Okay, so first there should be a placeholder for the button. Okay, so I'm developing acceptance criteria. Okay, so placeholder, first is the placeholder. Okay, second is there should be a label. Okay, so I'm developing acceptance criteria, there should be a label, and then okay, there should be a label, and after label, okay, changes the color, okay, changes the color when hover. Okay, when I mouse hover on that button, the button's color should change. Okay, with me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then here I have developed it further. The label should be back button. Label should be read as back. With me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are developing just a criteria. I'm getting into detail of one single button, but in reality, you will be talking about the complete feature. Okay. Complete feature means you will be talking about the entire screen. It will just not be for a screen, but you are making sure all the acceptance criteria has met. Once you will make sure all the acceptance criteria has met, tester team will make sure that they are not missing out on anything. Okay. And then hover, and then button should be clickable. Okay. So clickable is the another criteria. And once button is clickable, what should be the final outcome? So final outcome, you are knowing that what is going to happen is this, that once you will click, it will land on another screen, and say for the name of the screen is account details, or yeah, account details. Okay, name of the screen, for example, right? So what happens, every screens are given a name. With me?
Yes.
So when you will go to any software, when you will work on that, if you are clicking on add new customer, okay, so you see a pop-up may appear, and it will name it as a new customer. Okay, once you will click back on the back button, it lands back towards the another dashboard. Okay, and the name of the screen is dashboard. Just example I'm giving. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah, able to visualize. Okay, so this was tried explaining back button, how in detail the acceptance criteria can be written. But anyways, for user story, writing that there is a way. Again, likewise, to write acceptance criteria, there is a way. We are going to discuss about it as well. So hold for a while. So yeah. All right. So who can read this third bullet point? I need one volunteer.
In Scrum, each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. This means that at the end of each sprint, the team has produced a coded, tested, and
No,
usable piece of
it is
software.
red already. The third one I'm
Oh,
talking.
okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Ideally, the team has completed each product backlog item brought into the sprint, but it's more important that they achieve the overall goal of the sprint.
Yeah, so every product backlog item has been developed, completed, and tested as a team. Okay, you are giving the demonstration about it, but it's not just that. Okay, the entire features goal has to be achieved, that you have to make sure. And at the end, because name suggests sprint review, you are not giving the feature presentation for only one feature. You are giving for the entire sprint, and make sure that you have given presentation or demonstrated entire feature, which were the part of sprint. With me so far?
Yeah.
But sometime in some industry, what happens? Okay, in some industry, it is seen that sometimes so much question answer goes on, one day does not suffice. Okay, so if you are not able to complete demonstrating one feature, you can definitely come back next day for the another remaining features. But make sure that that buffer time you have already availed. Okay, and accordingly you have planned. So for that, product owner has to be on toes. He should be very much vigilant of this, that how does the timing is required, how does the timing is utilized. Okay, having said so, let's further look at this. So can anyone read this first bullet point on the screen?
Crossing the finish line and completing work requires good planning, a clear definition of done, and focused execution. This all is reflected in the sprint review.
Yeah, we are talking about with quality, and when we are talking about with quality, it can't be happen. So let me tell you what, when we do some completion without any, so in sales there is a very known term. What happens in sales is so one of the author, he talks about it, his name is Brian Tracy, and he says that if you're going without preparation in any sales call, that is called as, what that unprepared sales call is termed as. It is called as blah blah sales. What it is called as?
Blah, blah.
Exactly. You are unprepared and you don't go for anything and you just talk blah, blah. So likewise, it cannot be a blah, blah definition. It has to be defined. Okay. So once your done is defined, acceptance criteria is defined, what is going to happen? You are going to talk about what has been completed, what has been executed, and what is remaining. And accordingly, you are presenting that you have come with the good planning. Okay. So as it says that crossing the finish line and completing work requires good planning. Okay. And a clear definition of done. It means your acceptance criteria is prepared and focused execution. This is all is reflected in sprint review. So these are the reflection. Okay. What you can expect, what you can sense, and what you can intend. So everything comprised into this one bullet point. Now, what should be the culture for this delivery? Let's understand that. Who can read this bullet point?
A culture of delivery.
Mhm.
Effective teams bring clear processes and development culture to each and every work item.
Exactly. So it is so much organized that what exactly happened, it continue to proceed into the next column of definition of done. Okay. And not only that, you will have the insight that how this has been laid out so easily, what every team has followed. And there you are refining the processes. Okay. When you are refining the processes, when you see that how you have coped with the work, what all things you have taken into consideration, are accordingly some means well-defined processes that appears. Okay. Scrum Master or product owner can take a note of it to reutilize for next presentation, because process gets developed sometime, and once it gets developed, you are ready to reuse that. And sometimes eventually it takes the international standard. Okay, because that it has been mastered so well, it has been repeated so well, it is all the time giving the same output what was desired. Okay, and that's the reason it brings more clarity as a part of process, and it defines development culture as well. So let's follow the third bullet point. Who can read this from following? Last.
Following questions need to be asked and answered during the review. Our stories are well defined by the product owner, designer, and the engineering team before implementation.
Well, so it should be very much clear that even customers should have this idea that user stories are well written, and user story when are brought in the sprint planning meeting, not only product owner has to just write one line, it has been further elaborated by business analysts. Designers are able to understand, and test engineers or your architect are able to understand in a way that they have implemented the way it was required. Okay, so that's the reason these questions should be inside, and you continue to follow that. Having said so, I want someone to read this one. Okay, so just wait a second. Let me reshare my screen one more time. Wait. Okay, so now we are getting into definition of done. All right, so let me reshare my screen. So yeah, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the definition of done as a shared understanding within the Scrum team on what it takes to make your product increment releasable. And this is a very valid question. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask certain question to you. Okay, done means releasable. Done means what?
Releasable.
It means that
Releasable.
one software, one feature, one item can be released. All right. So you must ask these questions to yourself. Because we are going to develop a done feature, we are going to define our done. Okay, we are going to define our acceptance criteria towards the end. So you must ask this question: what does it take to take for the rocket to launch? How you will make sure that one rocket can be launched? That could be one question. What does it take to for the service engineer to call the customer for the delivery of his or her vehicle? Imagine you have given your vehicle for servicing, and when you can expect your customer to your vendor to give you a call, not when the time is up, but what all activity he should have done. Okay, because before taking it into consideration into hand, he will check all the things, what areas to be done. Okay, and then after completing the work, he will check one more time that whether everything has been done or not. With me so far? And then he will, yeah. Then third says that what does it take to doctor to say the surgery is success? Even doctor says that, okay, these tests has been come, this test has been come, whether this test matches the range or not, and various other things. What does it take to the development team to put the product into production? That's the final question. Okay, for any software software feature demonstration, you are going to ask this thing. Now you tell me, when I'm asking these all questions, what exactly you need to refer every time? One common thing which is in every single bullet point.
Acceptance all done.
Come again.
What does it take for?
Yeah, so what does it take? What you are going to do? That is my question. What you will refer?
The process.
The product.
Okay, process, product. See, you are marking something and telling that it is done. You are delivering, you are handing over. But exactly before that, what you have done?
Definition of done.
Yeah. So what
Piece
does it?
of the project or the full project.
Yeah. What you have done actually?
We have met the acceptance criteria.
We have checked for the acceptance criteria, whether we have met the acceptance criteria or not. So actually, when you are checking acceptance criteria has met or not, so you are referring to some checklist. Are you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you are referring to checklist, you are just marking this as done, done, done. Check, 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 check. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you are marking it check, where it gets checked, the moment you will move things into the done column in the Kanban board, you are marking everything as check, check, check. So this is what, and that will define as done as a releasable. Okay. So let's move further. What exactly it means? It means that anything which is marked as a done before delivering has to be agree amongst engineering team, scrum master, product owner. Means every team has worked in their feature, and they have marked it well. Okay, so what is that anything could be? So anything could be user story has been developed, code has been deployed, release date is in the place, and thereby sprint is getting over. The sprint date has come closed. With me so far?
Sir, I have one question.
Please.
What is the definition between acceptance criteria and the definition of done?
Yeah, so wait for a moment, that is just coming up. Okay, so how user story would look like, how acceptance criteria should happen, so that is coming on your way. In fact, that is coming. Okay, so here you see main components of definition of done is business or functional requirement. Okay, what is functional requirement? We are going to look at it very, very soon. What is non-functional requirement? We are going to look at it. Okay, non-functional, when we tell, so can someone tell what is non-functional? Okay, let me quickly tell you. Functional means things are functioning. Okay, clicks are working, screen movement is happening. But non-functional is that non-functional means the performance. Okay, the time it takes to load the page. Okay, which has nothing to do with the function, but it has to do with performance, time, load. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
So anything which has nothing to do with function, that is non-functional, and anything which defines the function, movement, okay, that is functional. That's simple. And again, the quality. Prerna, if you're there, can you take the next screen, please? Next slide. Prerna, you there? You might be speaking on mute. Hello.
Yeah, Gaurav, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No
Yeah.
problem. Can you take the
So,
next
yeah.
screen?
Please share the screen.
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, yeah, it
Okay.
has come.
Yes. So I think we have earlier also, in between discussed about definition of done, or this word has often come that, it has to be done, completed. But what does it mean like when we say definition of done, and what kind of requirements are there? What types of requirement at times? So first of all, the way the pace and the content of this session is going, that is very fantastic, because everybody is asking questions, and so that's the way we want it. Thank you so much for that. So now going forward, keeping this rhythm, what do we understand by business or functional requirement? First of all, sorry, to complete anything or to have that done phase, you have to have some task or some requirements or some activities. Okay, so we will focus on that. So can someone just read out what is mentioned on the screen, please? Anybody, preferably candidates who have not spoken till yet.
Business or
Additional
functional
data that
requirement.
emerge through conversations are acceptance criteria, business rules, workflows, mockups, algorithms, data point, and the user story template looks like as a what I want so that I can perform. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. So what it says is that you know these are the basically I would say pseudo code, or I would say a pattern in which you can write a user story. That's just given for reference. But when we talk about business requirement or functional requirement, these are some of the main features of it. Okay, so what are the features? The features are, first of all, addition acceptance criteria. Okay, acceptance criteria simply means while you're working on something, you're working on a project, what are the features or what are the activities or what is the stage, I would say call it, when the customer is ready to say, okay, this development is fine, we can go ahead to next work. So I'll give you a real life example, which I generally give because it's very relatable. So whenever you browse on Amazon.com, right? Amazon.com, you shop, you just check out the new stuff or whatnot. So will it be okay if you are given only the browse or only the search criteria and not given the function to add to cart and order? How would you feel
No,
about it?
no, incomplete.
Right. Incomplete. That's the perfect word. You would say, I don't just want to browse. I actually want to buy something, because then how would that be useful to me? Make sense? Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to complete your activity. Okay, if you just wanted to browse through, you could have just Googled, and you just could have, gone for like window shopping and stuff. So same way, customer also has acceptance criteria, wherein they ensure that whatever requirement was given, that has been fulfilled or completed to what it was mentioned, right? If the activity was to ensure that create your user profile in Amazon.com, so all the details have to be there. Or if it was to update some information or to allow customers to add whatever items and buy them, so whatever requirement that has been given, that should be completed. That is what the acceptance criteria looks like. Okay. Also, by the way, these are the additional details that emerge, as in they are part and parcel of the process, but these are the topics, or I would say details, those can be and at times definitely mentioned by the customer. Second is business rules. Now you may ask, what is a business rule? So business rule simply means, if you're having a website or application or any data, what are the basic understanding of that data. Okay. So if I have to tell you, if anybody comes from commerce, so debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That's like a basic rule of one commerce. Okay. So that simply means, now if you ask me what can be a business rule, so same example, when we buy something from Amazon, that has to come in your orders history, that product, that product detail, that billing detail, invoice detail, all those things have to be a part of your order history now, right? And your delivery date, your tentative timeline should be shown. So if we look at any particular activity, all the I would say rules, or all the things satisfying that activity or complementing that activity has to be fulfilled. Okay. If tomorrow you place an order and you see that order ID is not there, tentative delivery date is not there, how would you feel about it? I mean, will you first of all accept it?
No.
No. Why?
Not complete. I want to know the date.
Absolutely right. See, as a customer today, everybody is very tech savvy, very practical, very open, very understanding of the technology. So you want to know these details, right? If you're buying something and you do not know the delivery date, that's like not acceptable. So that is why. So this is just a basic example for you to understand there are business rules or business criterias that have to be fulfilled while you work on some functionality. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Now, workflows and mockups. Basically, workflows means whatever activities we just discussed. Like, for example, when you want to log into facebook.com or or gmail.com, what is the basic process? The simplest example that I can give that can make you understand about the workflows. So that basically means how that activity is achieved or how that activity is carried forward. So, so you go on www.gmail.com, right? Then what you do, you put your email ID. Just forget the fact that you have saved your passwords and all. So I'm just telling from a layman concept. So
Yeah.
you put in your email ID, then you put in your password, then it might ask you for a validation code on your phone or on your mobile, right? Or it always asks, is it you? Are you the same person? In case you're logging from your parents' home, if you're logging from your brother's or your siblings' laptop, or if you're logging from a different machine, they'll raise this question that someone is trying, or you might get a mail
Yes.
on Gmail that someone is trying to access your account from this device. It's a new device. Is it you? Should we allow it, or should
Yes.
we flag it as as an issue or as a breach? So you see, now this entire activity is a workflow. How would you say that? Like, for example, if you put the right email ID, then you will be directed to the password screen, right?
Yes.
Do not, if by mistake your email ID, or if you put email ID, because email IDs are very vast, even if you make any mistake, that can be somebody else's name and somebody else's email ID, right? If you put Pooja123 and your email ID is Pooja1234, but then if you put Pooja123, it might be someone's email ID. But then if you put the password, and that password would definitely not be of Pooja123, right? Then you would get an error. So getting that error itself again is a workflow, right? So if you put in the right email ID password, you go to the gmail.com, you go into your account. If you put in wrong, then you are directed for the prompt with, okay, it's a wrong email ID, or check your user ID and password and things like that. So all these functionality flows are called workflows. Do you understand the concept now? Well, whatever
Yes.
activities that you feel, and by the way, sometimes as a BA, by sitting with architect and by sitting with the customers, you'll have to define some of them. Now, these examples are quite easy, and why we give them, that you should have that basic understanding. But tomorrow, when something is very application specific, you can as a BA understand and write those flows. And trust me, it's I mean, I don't know, I really find it fun because you're creating something new, right? You're creating something for your customer from start to end, and it's really interesting. You learn a lot because you do not know what are the options they want. Like for example, nowadays you also get that validation screen wherein they have maybe the car images distorted, or some other images in a box, and they'll ask you to select any three car images or any three signal
Yeah.
images or things like that. That's a validation. So new things keep coming up. So as a BA, as a development team member, you really explore a lot of stuff when you work on new projects and new technologies. Okay. Now,
Yes.
mockups, algorithms, and data points. Now, these 3 points, first of all, mockup means just like how you give a demo or how you give a mock-up test. Okay, like it's like a practice test or something like that. Customer might want to see something before it is completely developed. Okay, we work in agile, we work in a dynamic environment. Things can be things are very fast moving, so the customer might come and ask you for these things. Algorithms and data points simply means like how you can see this user story. Many a times when your software or your applications are very I would say complex, like if it that's a research software, or it's a medical software, or it's a mathematics based software, or there are software used in labs, right? When you check your blood or when you check your other health parameters. So all these things for all these things, algorithms and data points means basically what data a user can accept. Like for example, if you're trying to order from Amazon, your payment methods are defined. There can be online payment, there can be offline, cash on delivery, there can be EMIs. Okay, there is no option as of now, right, from borrow your friends or colleague, right? I hope not. But maybe that day would soon come. So the point is, the data pointers, from where the data is flowing, from where the information is coming, and how it is getting stored, what are the options given to the customer for performing that activity, those are all defined. So these are all the additional points. Sorry, I'm just having a little trouble with my throat, please bear with me. Sorry. So all these data points, all these additional details, they are there. And why are we kind of teaching you or focusing on this? Because whenever you talk to the customer or any stakeholders, if these points come, if any of this point comes, you should be comfortable. You should be, in a place that you can answer them. You can, I would say, cater to their requirements or their doubts any. And always remember, it's not that you need to know everything every time then and there. There can be something that you might need to, like for example, if they ask you when can we have our mock-up, okay, and you are there as a BA, and you are there maybe with a product owner or one of the team junior team members just for the meeting or presentation, then you can always say, for the mock-ups, I would need to get in touch with my development team and see how the progress is going, and I can, once I connect with them and check with them, and then I can come back with the data. Because see, as a BA or as a product owner, or as only anyone from the team, you do not take a decision on behalf of team. It's always a collective decision. So make sense? Any
Yes.
doubts in this? Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is UAT and acceptance criteria are similar or not connected at all?
See, it depends on organization to organization or to customer. Basically, UAT stands for user acceptance testing. Okay,
Yeah.
and that can be, or that is generally, I would say, depends on sprints to sprint, or what are the activities involved. Like for
Okay.
this sprint this is the UAT, for that sprint this is the UAT. And many a times acceptance criteria is kind of like very wide in scope. Like for example,
Okay.
Amazon.com having a valid user ID and password is an acceptance criteria. You see how comparatively high level it is. But in UAT, the test case might be, oh, you need to have proper user ID. There should not be any junk characters, any any specific characters, or your password
Okay.
has to be this much length. So see the difference.
Yeah.
Ultimately it's the user's acceptance, but then what detail level. And I'm giving you this on a very superficial level. It can be as detailed as possible, but then generally acceptance criteria, see, there is not acceptance test, acceptance pointers, acceptance criteria. If you ask me, as per my experience, those are generalized, like how it would be, okay, user should do this. Well, it will be like very generic,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
should not have. But whereas if you talk about unit testing, those are very particular to a point, to a particular activity. Okay, if you are making a payment and there is some delay, please redirect to the earlier screen, things like that.
Prerna, sorry to interrupt. In the coming slides, sorry, in the coming slides, the format is also written for the user story
Yeah,
and
great. So can we just move to the next slide, please, Gaurav?
yes, let's go.
Thank you. Yes, so can someone just read out this acceptance criteria in both the tables, please?
Solution to the next level, acceptance criteria should be able to find out rupees spent per trip, should be able to find out rupees spent per financial year. Acceptance criteria should be able to find out miles spent per trip, should be able to find out validity of the miles.
Okay, so you see the difference here. One acceptance criteria as per one user story is what is the total expenditure on a trip, and whereas the other acceptance criteria is how many miles are you flying
Miles.
or how many miles you have as per the trip. So this is
Right.
very, I would say, generic, or at times like a blanket statement, but that is as per the customer. Okay, it would be if I have to ask, if I have to tell you about a user story in this scenario, the user story would be how much was the expense if you were traveling from per se this location to another location, or how much was the flight distance, or from, I would say, New York to Canada, maybe, just a hypothetical example. Okay, so how brief and how minute it is, whereas acceptance criteria are like quite generic or quite broader in sense. You get the point, but then there are different types, right? First is talking about the expenditure, second is talking about the duration, or distance, then you're talking about what is the year spent for financial year, and somebody's talking about what is the validity of your travel, or of your the miles that you have been what do you say, experienced, or what have you spent. So see, these are like different ways how you can evolve, or how you can explain, or how you can reach to the next step in your project. And that solely depends on how in detailed understanding the customer asks for, or is it required also. Many a times I've realized, or I've experienced, customers are too, I would have to call it, nosy. I mean, they just want to get into everything, but then it's not worth it. Like, for example, if your application or if your project is quite simple to understand and it's not that tricky, then you can come up with some simpler, user criteria or user stories, and you can just ensure that whatever they are asking, that is been incorporated. Make sense? Any doubts in this? Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to the next slide, please.
Yeah, just a minute. So let me quickly tell you one thing which you must know, very, very important. One thing is that, yes, this is the generic acceptance criteria written. However, there is a format for it. So not every industry will write the same format. You are going to ultimately get to know about what could be the format. Okay. However, your focus should be over here about the user story. Okay. In the previous slide, what did you notice? There is a format about it. And the format, everyone please make a note of it. The user story format is that always make sure for any feature, any requirement, you are breaking it down in one functionality. So for the first functionality, it should be written like this: as a user, okay, I want to achieve something. Means as a user, an actor. This is the format. As an actor, I want, then action, so that impact. It means that as a user could be anyone, right? So what all the example of user in one organization, who all can be the user? Now give me the example in bank. In one bank, who all can be the user?
Their employees, their customer.
Tell me the employee's position. No.
Bank
Manager,
Manager. Who else?
accountant,
accountant,
Clerk.
cashier.
Accountant, clerk.
Ledger, clerk, accountant, manager,
Yeah.
tailor, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So these are the actors. Okay. What one minimum activity they can do? Let's talk about the action. One common action which all of them can do, including customer.
Access the account.
Access the account. That's absolutely right. And once they access the account, action is accessing the account. What they can have the impact, what they can achieve by accessing account, what they can do.
They can see the details.
Transfer money, they can do a lot of
They
things.
can see customer details, right? You are
Yeah.
trying to say, and everyone says that, right? So as an accountant, I want to access customers' account so that I can see customers' details, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Again, as a branch manager, I want to access customers' account so that I can see customers' details. Agree?
Yes.
As a customer, I want to access my account so that I can see my account details. Agree? Different users, same activity, same impact. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the format you need to follow. Exactly this format has been tried. Now, it's not bank example. This is now as a flyer. Means the user is who? Flyer is you. I want to view my past trips. Say, for example, you have some points in different airlines. So in which airline then generally you travel? Tell me.
United.
United Group, you said?
Yeah, United.
United. Say, for example, as a frequent flyer, I want to view my past trips so that I can find how much LTA I can claim. Do you know that you are in the organization, you avail LTS?
Yes.
Yeah. Leave traveling allowance. So
Yes.
based on what your past miles are in your United Airlines account, you can fetch all the trips you have done so far in the financial year, and you can present before the taxation period in front of your organization's account team so that they can calculate the LTA to be given to you. Can you do so? You can fetch the past trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to just fetch the past trip, you see how the user story is written. As a flyer, I want to view my past trips. So as a user, I want to do action is written and impact is written so that I can find out how much LTA I can claim. The same thing is here. Okay. As a frequent flyer, I want to view my past trips so that I can find how many miles I have earned. So here LTA has been further broken down. So as a frequent flyer, I want to view again my past trip. Action is the same. Now the you see the outcome is changed so that I can find out how many miles I have earned, and here so that I can find out how much LTA I can claim. With me so far? Here you can count the days, okay, and you can here count the kilometers, okay, and you can count money as well against those kilometers or miles. Yeah. Make sense?
Yes.
So this is the format you need to be very well aware of as a future business analyst. Cool? So
Yes.
let's move to the next slide. Yeah, Prerna, you can explain this.
Yeah, Gaurav, thanks for adding this explanation.
Sure.
The font is yes. So now here you see the acceptance criteria again. When we talk about any particular, subscriptions, like, you have your Netflix subscription, you have your Amazon Prime subscription. Here we're talking about any airlines subscription, right? So, what they have provided is which, class you're looking for, economy, business, one second. And then what are the membership type, like they're recommending gold, silver, diamond, bronze, platinum. So all these things depend, like, what kind of membership you take. Like, I'll give you a very simplistic example which is very close to everybody's heart. When you go to a gym, go for a gym membership, maybe a month's membership, just a hypothetical example, might cost you $100, okay, a month. But then a quarterly or 3 months membership might cost you around, say, 250. A a half yearly membership might cost you 400. So they have those tricks to ensure that you pay more, and you kind of enroll for a long term, or you might get some like, if you enroll for 1 year, you'll get 2 months free kind of facilities. So these are all the maybe types or criterias given by the customers, and you kind of follow the flow of it. Like here, if you have to see, there are, see, less than these many kilometers for this class, you have to, you will get this much percentage or discount. So you see, these are all the permutations and combinations. We're talking about the data points, or we're talking about the user stories. All these things are provided by the customer. And here, with this respect of give me a second. Yeah, so here, see, what is the can 1, 2, 4, 5? Okay, I want different people to read out the different criteria, please. Yeah, what are the 7 criteria mentioned?
Should authenticate user, consider the functionality already exists.
Perfect. So authenticate
be
user
able-
means you have to ensure that the user logged in or user checking the user ID and password is correct. Okay, yeah, that is the authentication. Next.
Should be
Should be
able
able
to
to do
do flight search.
Yeah, so that means you don't want your customer to be a 2-year-old who do not know how to surf and navigate. It should be an adult, or it should be at least a child who knows how to use computers and how to do the search part, right? So that is a basic requirement. Next.
Should be able to do flight selection.
Yes. So it's not only searching the flight, the person should also be able to confirm or select the proper flight. So see, for example, if you're busy, you might tell your younger sibling to just check for the flights. I want to travel from this location to that. How do I go about it? But then, while it comes to, and imagine that your sibling is a minor, and they're not earning, or they don't have a credit card, things like that. So then he's like, these are the flights available. Then you're like, okay, give me the laptop or give me the phone, and I'll just book it. So the selection, not only surfing, the selection and actual payment part should also be considered. Yeah, next.
Should be able to enter passenger details.
Perfect. So it's not only searching and selection, but you should be actually able to update your details for that particular flight or for that particular ticket. Okay, makes sense? This
Yes.
is bare minimum requirement. Yeah, next.
should be able to do make payment.
Yes, if not, then how would you even book the ticket, right? So make payment. And next, last, I think.
Confirm
That's
payment.
payment.
Okay, second last. Confirm payment. Yeah. See, okay, I'll give you the difference after the last point. And what's the last point?
Add miles to the passenger profile.
Yes. Now you may ask, what does it mean by to make payment and then confirm payment? Okay. So many a times what happens, see, by the way, Gaurav generally gives a very detailed insight about the payment or banking domain. I'll just try to give the relevance of it.
Prerna, if you want, I can explain it. Do you want me to?
Yeah, because that will
Okay.
also get covered. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
so
Please go
see,
ahead.
understand, let's move towards acceptance criteria. So in general, so any industry, you can at least write acceptance criteria like this. Is it clear to everyone how to write acceptance criteria? It
Yes.
starts with should and the end result to be achieved. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have known that how to create a user story or any ticket. That day when I was explaining you that, just give me a second, let me see whether I can bring that back in front of you or not. The similar dashboard which I was trying to explain you earlier. So I'm just trying to see if I can bring that again for you or not, and then I can tell that how you can create that. Okay. So I'm just bringing that up. Bear with me. And I'm just trying to open a ticket. Yeah, screen is not shared yet, so you won't be able to see that what activity I'm doing, but still wait for me. And while I'll be explaining and we'll be going to the Jira, I'll be using Jira. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to pause the recording. Okay. So wait a second. So this is the second time I'm going to explain the Kanban board. Okay. So it is not with every company they can, utilize the, Agile and Scrum framework. Okay. So they keep on switching on to the different, methodology. So just let me share my screen and pause the recording. Just wait a second. Okay, I'm going to pause due to the recording. So this is what I have just now explained, how the user story you can create just by simply clicking and selecting user story from the drop down. Okay.
Okay, this is as similar as the Trello, right, Gaurav?
Yeah, exactly. All the same purpose. Okay. Now here is the beautiful thing. Easy thing you have understood that how one acceptance criteria can be written. Okay. But before that, user stories are very important. I want someone to read this user story for me because I am not wearing my specs. So I want someone to read this.
As a registered frequent flyer of Fly Agile Airlines, I want to book my ticket through Fly Agile Airlines portal so that I can gain my miles.
Yeah, the objective is very much clear. What is the objective?
Gain the
Gain.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah, gain the
But
miles.
before gaining the miles, the action is also clear. What you want to do and what you
Buy
want to do.
ticket. I have to book the tickets through the airline portal only.
Yeah, so you want to book your ticket through Fly Agile Airlines, but at the end you want to also gain your miles. That is your objective. And who are you? So it
Registered
is
frequent flyer.
Registered
Frequent
user.
registered frequent flyer, Fly Agile Airlines. So this is one of the example. Now you understand this table, why this table is given. Table is given to write down. So this table is just understand as a business rule, okay, where some data points are given. Okay, data point says that distance below 1,000 kilometers will have two different classes. In fact, this airline has always two different classes, economy and business. And we have the membership type. We have three membership types: bronze, silver, and gold. Okay, how many membership type we have?
Three.
Three. Okay. And they say that if someone travels a distance below 1,000 kilometers, okay, he can avail the gold membership, gold membership for 100% discounted kilometer, okay, below 1,000 kilometers if he has traveled, and if he is choosing an economy class. However, if he chooses the business class, he can get 200% discount if he has traveled below 1,000 kilometers. With me so far?
Yes.
Objective is clear, but if someone is with silver membership, okay, he can avail 75% discount if he travels in economy class below 1,000 kilometer. See, for the different membership type, the discount is changing. So objective is clear. If someone is booking the air ticket, they are booking for what reason?
Hi.
Two reasons. One, to go to the destination, and second, to build the discount, provided if they have these membership, right?
Yes.
Again, discount vary based on not only the membership type, but also the type of class they choose for the traveling. Again, the discount will change based on the distance they will travel. You can see if they have traveled between 1,000 to 2,500 kilometer, okay, in the economy class, and if they are the bronze member, they can avail only 75% discount. But in business class, they can avail 100% discount. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
And the same goes with the silver class. It will vary up to 125% discount, 175% discount, and gold 200% and 300% discount. Again, if they have traveled more than 2,500 kilometer in the economy class, and if it's the bronze member, how much discount he can avail? 100%.
100%.
And if in the are you able to understand how it is simplified? The objective is to gain the discount. And another is that how he can gain the discount. If he is a member in the bronze, silver, or gold, he can avail the discount. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
And if the member is traveling in the economy class, he can also avail the different variety of the discount. If it is in business class, he will avail the different variety of discount. But if the distance varies, the total game will change for the discount. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now the idea over here is your homework. And what is homework? Homework is that you have to take a screenshot of it. You have to convert this table into user story. Okay, so how will you write? As a frequent flyer of Fly Agile Airlines, or as a bronze member of Fly Agile Airlines, I want to avail 50% discount. Okay, again you will write. So as a as a frequent flyer of Fly Agile Airlines, I want to avail 50% discount. Okay, or you say that I want to book a flight to travel in economy class for up to 1,000 kilometers so that I can avail 50% discount. That is number one. Second, you will write as a Fly Agile Silver member, I want to book a ticket up to 1,000 kilometer in the economy class so that I can avail 75% discount. With me so far?
Yeah.
Again, you will write as a Fly Agile Gold member, I want to book a distance of 1,000 kilometer travel or up to 1,000 kilometer of traveling so that I can book 100% of discount. So that I can book 100% of discount. Likewise, you are going to do the same game in the business. It means it is just not going to be the three different types of user story, but it will change for every column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means you will have at least 18 different user stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you want it in writing or a video recording?
Yeah, I want you to just write down 18 user stories as your home play. Okay, you work with it and come back with the play completed. Okay, this is not a homework. You are going to just play with this table. That is going to be your home play.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ask please.
So who comes up with this kind of scenarios?
Okay, so what happens? Customer
does business analyst or scrum master has to come up with scenarios like 1,000 miles will give you 50% or 75%.
So do you think business analysts will come by their own self?
No.
Who will give
No,
these details?
Client.
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 But while client is giving these details, who will capture these details?
Product owner.
Product owner.
Not necessarily product owner. Product owner will listen,
Business
but business analyst has to.
Okay.
Business analyst has to capture all the requirement, right? And
Yeah.
once they capture the requirement, they send back for the confirmation from the client that this is what I have understood. Please give a sign off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So this is going to be your homework. Everyone is clear on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you are going to do is that you will just write a user story. You can write in the pen through pen paper. You can write in the Word document wherever you wish to. You can write in Excel sheet, okay, and you can post in WhatsApp group, not on the individual, and we'll review everyone's. Okay.
Okay.
So you have fair time. And the additional thing is that, of course, it goes unsaid. And what goes unsaid, the summary, whatever you have understood, what you have gone through. Okay. And we'll cover these more in detail later. Okay. For now, this is it. But remember, this is just not sprint review. What I explained you, it's just not that sprint review meeting. But at the end, something happens. And what is that something happens? Is this. I just wanted to let you know this. Okay. In the sprint review, something happens. Just like a party, as you give the review and finally you celebrate. Okay, you give high five to each other. But beauty is that here we give self high five before we start. Right? Do we do that or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a magic behind it, so that you understand things so well, very well. And its impact is there, the effectiveness happens. So any sprint review should not just go get normal boring meeting. It has to be celebrated. Okay. It has to involve with the conversation. Okay. And you talk about business value. So now earlier it was called as demo, but now it is called as review. In the demo, you go monotonous mode, you just show the code and all. So why customer is interested in looking at the code? You focus on user story and all, but here you focus on goals, business value, talk about that. So this is all at any question so far?
No, sir.
No. So, well, so I hope we have touched the time more than that. So quickly, one word I want to hear from you. So let's start from Monica. Monica, what do you feel like saying at the end now? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's very informative and easy to understand, sir.
Okay. Monica, please call out someone's name on the screen quickly.
Tushar.
Tushar, one word, sir.
Yes, it was very informative and easy to learn. Thank you for the detail.
Thanks. Call out someone's name.
Harishita.
Harshita, one word.
And very informative.
Informative.
It was
Call out
simple. Yeah. Thank you.
Call out someone's name.
Pallavi.
Pallavi. Yes, Pallavi, one word.
Yeah, it was interactive and very interesting.
Interactive and interesting. Okay, Pallavi, call out someone's name.
Ritika.
Ritika, one word, please.
It was very simple and easy to understand, and yeah, enjoyed the session.
Okay, call out someone's name.
Ashi.
Ashi. Yes, Ashi, what do you want to say? One word. Ashi, we can't hear you. Can everyone listen to Ashi?
No.
Okay, Ashi somehow. Yeah. Okay, no problem. So you can write one word and you can call out someone's name. You can type someone's name on the screen. You can type that if you wish. Okay. One person's name, please. Thank you, Ashi. One person name, please. Nikita.
Yeah,
Yes.
hi. Yeah, so beautiful explanation and really excited to work on user story.
Awesome. Excited. Yeah. Please call out someone's name.
Monica.
Monica. Yes, Monica. What do you have to say?
Oh, Monica is.
Monica was the first one. Yeah. Please
Yeah.
call us.
Mamta.
Mamta. Yes, Mamta. One word.
Today's session was very practical based thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Follow someone's
Tushar.
name. Tushar is done.
Sahita.
Sahita. Yes, Sahita. One thing.
The session was good, great, and I need the video, like YouTube link of that.
I'm looking for video. Please call out someone's name.
I'll go with Mahendra.
Mahendra. Yes, sir. One word.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice explained and easy to understand. Thank you, Gaurav and Prerna.
Thank you, Mahendra.
I call out Desdemona.
Desdemona. Yes, Desdemona.
Thank you. Thank you, Prerna and Gaurav. Very easy to understand session and very interesting.
Okay, one person's name, please.
Who is not done? Pallavi?
I'm done.
Pallavi is done.
Unnati?
Yeah. So it was, it's a very informative session, and I'm looking forward to work on the user stories. Thank
Super.
you.
Unnati, please call out someone's name on the screen. I think if everyone.
I guess Pooja.
Okay, Pooja. Yes, Pooja. What do you feel like saying? Pooja is there. Yeah.
It is a nice and informative session, and I'm excited to write the user stories too.
Okay, I did not know A is Pooja, so I was
I changed it, but somehow it is not reflecting.
Okay, no problem, Pooja. So Pooja, please call out someone's name, Prerna's name for closer.
Prerna.
Sahita, are you done? I'm not sure whether Sahita is done.
I'm done.
Okay, you are done.
Ritika is done. Ritika.
Yeah, everyone is done. So
okay, then Prerna, ma'am.
Yes, Prerna. Yeah, your closing remarks.
Yes, Gaurav, the session has been very extensive and we really learned a lot. We even stretched today a bit, if you could see the timing, but I would say it was really helpful for everybody's understanding and I really enjoyed the interactions and the questions. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Yeah, everyone. So thank you so much. I hope you have taken the screenshot of the tabular form until the recording goes up. So that is going to help you. So have you all taken that screenshot?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone who has not?
Me.
Okay, so I'm going to present one more time so that you can take the screenshot. So what I'm going to do instead of presenting the screen, I'll share the screenshot in the WhatsApp group so that it will be helpful for you. You should not wait for, delay of the this video if it gets loaded in delay and all. So you should not just get worried with that. So that will help you in that way. So thank you so much. And we'll talk one more time on Tuesday. 9:30 p.m. EST. Till then, you are going to attend this RRP session every single time. Monica, you can stay back for your question. Rest you all can drop. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.